Hey everyone, Casey Bryant here, voice of the Danbury Hat-Tricks. And today I thought we'd mix things up a little bit and bring you actual hockey-related content. I know, radical tonal shift for the YouTube channel of a pro hockey team. But I can see how that might have escaped some people given this channel's activity over the last month. So, to all of our returning fans, welcome. And to all of our new fans from the States and around the world, let me introduce you to one of the best players and best people in the Danbury Hat-Tricks locker room. He's entering his 8th season as a pro. He was an alternate captain for the Hat-Tricks last season, and he is one of the FPHL's reigning defenders of the year. Please welcome Aaron Atwell. Aaron, how have you been? How's your summer?
Oh, just trying to survive and stay sane like everybody else has been.
Hunkering down. Where is home for you? Where have you been hunkering down?
I'm in Toronto, Canada right now, so things were pretty bad here with COVID, and they did a lot to kind of take precautions. They shut things down pretty quickly. We opened up, everything was kind of running as normal with social guideline rules and masks and such. But slowly they're starting to shut things back down over here just because the cases are going up. So, you're just preparing for the worst and, making do with what we got and trying to keep busy.
Yeah, you try to occupy your time as best you can, and at least in the city of Toronto, you had one of the bubble cities for the NHL, so at least you had that going on to occupy your time, I'm sure.
Yeah, I had hockey on, I had NBA on, I had all that. My dad loves watching the news, so all the politics and stuff were on in the house as well, trying to keep up with what's going on in the world. Yeah, a lot of sports. I mean, when they came back, it was like on 24/7. Well, I had the remote in my hand anyways.
Has there been anything in particular that you've been watching, binging, listening to, reading, anything in particular?
Oh my gosh, I think I've gone through all of Netflix and Disney Plus, if I'm being honest. Um, Unfortunately, I can't access Hulu or ESPN Plus from Canada, so it's just been
Really?
sitting there. Yeah, I got that package with Disney, Hulu, ESPN Plus, but I can only use the Disney while I'm up here. So I
Oof.
have content to watch and go through when I get back down, so it's all right.
If only Disney and Netflix had anything worth watching on there. If only you had thousands of hours at your disposal.
Oh.
Aaron, you are one of the league's reigning defenders of the year, as I mentioned before. And when you won the award, you had told us in your interview that you felt that you had been overlooked for most of your career. And I love the attitude of playing with a chip on your shoulder. Could you elaborate on that mindset a little bit and what you meant when you said that you had been overlooked for your career?
For my career, I mean, my pro career, even like juniors, minor hockey, I've always kind of been like the that important member of the team for team success, but was never really allowed any time in the limelight for whatever reasons. Other kids were always pushed ahead of me, even though on paper I might have performed better, or just from a qualitative view or my work ethic. Um, so, once in a while, it's nice to get recognition. I don't get much of it. So it felt pretty good to get that award after, being traded from out of the blue. And
It was a return to Danbury for you. You had played for the Danbury Titans a couple of years ago, and you were one of the players that our head coach and general manager, Billy McCreary, specifically targeted, saying, I want this guy on my team. What is it like going from Illinois to back to at least a city that you recognize in the city of Danbury in the middle of a season like that?
I'd kind of gotten comfortable in Illinois, to be honest with you. It was going to be my third season there. But I had played in Danbury, and when I did play there, with the exception of a few minor things, I absolutely loved being there. Danbury felt closer towards home, like Toronto, when it comes to like demographics or just like getting different food to eat or like going out with the boys and just relaxing or grabbing a drink. When I got the call that I got traded, as much as I was disappointed and upset about it. When I heard it was Danbury, I was kind of like, oh, okay, well, thank God. It's a good thing I got traded there than anywhere else. Just felt like I was coming back home. I immediately contacted Bronner, Brownie, and Nieder, and it was like, hey, like I'm on my way, and they're super excited too. So it was nice to have familiar faces on the team, as well as like former Booster Club members and fans to come back to and just kind of be part of the family again.
You were a big part of the Eastern Division Championship that the team was able to take home, even though there wasn't a playoff. And personally, you now currently sit at 99 career FPHL points. What is it going to be like getting that 100th point at this level, which, I mean, for a defenseman is quite a remarkable feat. And to end one off, it's a bit like Mr. 3000, where you're like so close to that milestone and you have to work your way back to get that 1 point.
You know what? I actually think I did hit my 100th. I got Jimmy for a point this year.
Oh, did you?
So I had my 100th point in the FHL puck, like written down and everything. But then when I look back on the stat sheet, I didn't get it. So yeah, I mean, I do. I've already celebrated. I've kind of like, have been up there, and then I saw that, and I was like, oh shoot, well, I guess I got to get one more.
What game did they chip you?
Oh man, I can't even remember, but I know for sure I definitely missed one there.
Oh man.
But that happens. Though. That's hockey. Like if I was counting all the points I'd lost and maybe some other players and phantoms and stuff, like I probably would have passed 100 a while ago.
So it really is like Mr. 3000 then, because Bernie Mac retires at 3,000 hits, and then he has to come back when they're deemed errors after the fact. So there really is like Mr. 3000. All right. Oh man, that's wild. Well, hopefully they'll be able to rectify that soon enough. We saw you earlier this summer getting together and working with former NHLer Akim Aliu, coaching a team of all BIPOC kids up in Canada, that being Black, Indigenous, and people of color. How did you hook up with Akim to get to work on that?
Akim and I are really good friends. We grew up together. We grew up playing together on the Marlies together. It's a really fun time playing on that team with a bunch of other future NHLers. I haven't had that chance afterwards to play with, as much as I play with talented players. I don't think I've ever played again with a group like that. Him and I are always in constant contact. We keep in touch even during the season. We'll call each other or talk on the phone or just text each other and stuff. And he had reached out to me and said that he was going to be part of this all BIPOC youth team for a tournament. And he really wanted me on the bench with him. He wanted, his brother in arms and somebody that he was comfortable and close with, and who also understood what the kids were going through. And for me, it was a no-brainer. He's basically like family. So when he needs help, and I'll come going. Like I'll come at any time for anything, and the other way around too.
Even though it was littler kids that you were dealing with, was it weird being behind the bench as opposed to sitting on it?
You know what? Not really. Like I was just super excited. I was really excited for the kids and to see their enthusiasm and their compete level, their openness and willingness to learn and take criticism, constructive criticism. I didn't feel weird at all. I was like super pumped, when they made good plays and, when they're playing good hockey, and, Q and I drew up a couple of plays and they like executed it right away and scored. So we were and I almost fell off the bench and broke my other leg trying to give them a high five. But no, it was a lot of fun. Not weird, but, definitely it made me miss being on the ice, and I just wanted to get back to playing hockey right after that too.
That's awesome. Now Akim has being an NHLer has been at the forefront of the conversation on racial inequality and diversity in hockey. What are your thoughts on the recent creation of the Hockey Diversity Alliance and what they've set forth to achieve? Because that really grabbed the national spotlight in terms of the bubble this summer.
Yeah, I think it was necessary. we, especially in the BIPOC community, we have a saying where, if you don't fight for yourself, like no one's going to fight for you. Um, and, Akim and I have always talked about the things that we've faced in hockey and in society, and, you know, how we'd like to go about making a difference one day, or, speaking up, or if we should speak up, when we should speak up. Um, and we've had our doubts about wanting to speak up just because, we're both pursuing our own dreams, our own goals, our own careers, and not even that, like maybe like our kids get blacklisted because of us speaking out. So I'm kind of glad he um, just jumped at it and kind of ran with it, and then ended up spearheading the Hockey Diversity Alliance, which is now pushing the big wigs and all the money and shareholders to join in when it comes to diversity and making hockey inclusive and a safe place for people of different colors and genders and backgrounds and sexual orientations. Hopefully, like, it's not something where they listen to the HDA now and then in the future they kind of like close their ears off because it's not a trend anymore. Hopefully it's not just a moment and it's really a movement.
Well, it's incredibly admirable that the work that you guys have been putting in, all the legwork, because it is an uphill battle to fight for people like me who are not of color but want to be able to support your initiative as best as possible and promote your message of inclusivity. How can someone like me be a good ally and help out the cause?
I mean, you started it right there. Is the question? I think that was where everything started. It was a question, coming forward, wanting to be aware, thinking of how you can help, and like actively asking, listening, educating yourselves. As much as like I'm educating other people, I'm educating myself too. You kind of have to understand history and how things work to really get to the root of things and figure out how to solve them. But there's also I know Akim has his Time to Dream Foundation, which is geared towards helping kids specifically at grassroots levels even get into hockey. Something that I plan on trying to do in Danbury as well. Within the BIPOC communities and people of socioeconomic backgrounds who don't have the means to play the sport just because it's too expensive or time consuming. You can always donate money to that. It goes towards ice time, like gear, startup gear, league fees, tournament fees, which is what we did recently with the BIPOC team that we had. Is we paid for their practice ice and we paid all their tournament fees so that they're able to participate in the tournament and get a practice in beforehand. It's tough to really say how else you can help other than listening and educating yourselves and like asking questions with an open mind. The discussions are a huge part of it. Because without the discussions, like, we can't really take action or come to a way to fix this issue. We the BIPOC community didn't necessarily create the issues that we go through, but us, along with with everyone else who may not be BIPOC, we can all get together and come up with a way to form solutions to help eradicate racism and discrimination.
Well, that's awesome, Aaron, and we greatly appreciate your candidness and you're sitting down here to take the time. I'll throw a few links out to people if they want to educate themselves or to donate. You can always head to hockeydiversityalliance.org to learn about the NHL's initiative. Akim's Time to Dream Foundation is at timetodream.org. You can also look at the Black Girl Hockey Club's Get Uncomfortable campaign online as well. Aaron, before I let you go, your hometown Toronto Blue Jays are in the playoffs. Do they have a shot?
If they're in the playoffs, they have a shot. Like, it's as we know in sports, that the whole playoff season is a new lease on life, and your number one seed isn't always going to win, and half the time, or more than half the time, they don't. So they got a shot. They've been playing some pretty good ball. So looking forward to see what they can do this year.
Lakers or Heat in the final?
Ooh. You know what? I'm just glad Boston's not winning. I know Bronner and a couple other people are not gonna like that. But I'm gonna say the Lakers are gonna win. Miami might give them a run for their money, but I'll be happy either way.
And it's hard to deny LeBron, right?
Harder than LeBron, but I gotta support my boy Jimmy Buckets. So.
Awesome. Well, Aaron, we really appreciate you stopping by, taking the time to chat with us. We really appreciate it, and we hope to see you back out on the ice real soon, bud.
Thanks for having me, Casey. Good to see you.
Thanks for watching. If you liked that video, you can go ahead and click subscribe down below. And if you want to learn more about Aaron Atwell's causes, there are links down in the bio. And if you want to represent the Danbury Hat Tricks or keep tabs on the team going forward, you can head to danburyhattricks.com.